How's it going, everybody? Thanks for stopping into this video. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on Hectic Skeptic. Given the climate right now, you can't really post anything on YouTube that has to do with the shooting or the alt-right or anything like that without the fear of it being taken down or demonetized. And I just got my monetization back on Cogent Canine. Don't want to risk that right now, so I'm going to be doing some videos on Hectic Skeptic that deal with some more controversial issues. So let's take a look at this. This is from the New Zealand Herald. Headscarf for Harmony, about showing solidarity with Muslim women in New Zealand. They're calling for a headscarf for Harmony Day in New Zealand. I think that's happening today or tomorrow, where they're asking New Zealanders to wear a headscarf in solidarity with Muslim women. I can understand why they would want to do this, but I don't think it's a good idea whatsoever. It's not so much that you're showing solidarity with these Muslim women in New Zealand who choose to wear a headscarf. You could be sympathizing with them in some ways, but you're also sympathizing with the Quran itself, given that's the doctrine that tells Muslims to wear a headscarf. And you're also sympathizing with authoritarian men in Muslim countries who force women into these garments. So I can understand why they would want to do this after the attack, but it's an overreach, it's an oversight. We do not go adopting another ideology that is painful in the world, that causes harm in the world on a mass scale because Muslims were killed, because 50 innocent Muslims were killed, does not mean now we support the hijab. The hijab is still a sign of oppression. Women are still locked up in Iran for it. In other places in the world. So why on earth would we do that? Why? Organizers of tomorrow's Headscarf for Harmony Day say there are no rules around what sort of headscarf to wear or how to wear it. Rather, it's simply a way for Kiwis to show their support for Muslim women in New Zealand. However, a furor has erupted, with some calling the move oppressive and signaling women as subservient to men. Well, that's what the Quran does. That's what the Bible does. It puts women as second-class citizens, and that's obvious if you read it. That is also why women are supposed to cover. They're supposed to cover to show modesty, but really that means show modesty so Muslim men aren't attracted to you. That is why women wear burqas in Muslim-majority countries. It's for their safety, they say, which it is, but it's only for their safety because if they don't wear it, something bad happens to them. So It's like forgetting about all these other women in the world who suffer at the hands of the hijab. And it's also forgetting that it's indoctrination. The same way that someone grows up believing that evolution is fake, a little girl she grows up believing she has to wear this headscarf in order for God to love her and her family. And I don't support that either. So the fact that a hijab is a choice in the first place is to say that religion is a choice when you're born with it. And I just don't know if I support that. I think it's still indoctrination, but even if it is, that doesn't mean you go out and you try to kill people. We're against bad ideas, right? The hijab is a bad idea, and also because you don't like the hijab, going and killing innocent women who wear the hijab is not the correct answer, given we care about Muslims. Muslims suffer at the hands of terrorist attacks the most out of anybody. So Muslims suffer the most. So when we talk about Islam, it's because we care about the secular Muslims, we care about the indoctrinated Muslims, we care about ex-Muslims and non-believers. So we care that people are harmed. That includes Muslims. So why on earth would someone who criticizes Islam in that fashion then be okay with someone going out and murdering Muslims? Like, it is absolutely beyond the pale, not appropriate. So do not go out and start murdering people because you're against something. Okay, I'm against drunk drivers. Does that mean I'm going to go kill 50 drunk drivers in an AA meeting? No, because that's also a bad idea. It's like people have lost their minds, unable to hold two concepts at the same time. One, that the New Zealand mass shooting was a horrible thing. And two, the way they arrest people in Iran for not wearing the hijab, the way they treat women in Saudi Arabia. This is also not a good thing, and that's a product of Islam. Both things are simultaneously true. Also, you could add this in there. White supremacy is a bad idea, and it's a bad ideology, and should be fought at every turn. I just don't want the wrong people to be thrown in as fodder for people who just are out for blood. People like Sam Harris, Bill Maher, people who have talked about these issues with nuance and by no means have ever tried to demonize people for others to go out and murder them. If you were to listen to the whole work of someone like Bill Maher or Sam Harris, you would have to cherry pick them in order to make them seem like they're anti-Muslim. You would have to cherry pick the hell out of them, because you'll hear in other instances Bill Maher and Sam Harris talk about how Muslims are the ones who are most affected. So if they wanted you to go out and kill a bunch of Muslims, I don't think they would be talking about how Muslims are the number one victims of Islamic terrorist attacks. I don't think they would be speaking like that if their intention was first to radicalize someone, you see? Now, I don't really give a lot of benefit of the doubt to people like Ben Shapiro or people who hold on to, let's say, a Jewish religion or a Christian religion and then criticize Islam because it's not the correct religion. These are not the people that I'll defend. I don't care about Ben Shapiro, Donald Trump. No, because they're criticizing for the wrong reasons. But I will try to defend people like Bill Maher, Sam Harris, people who have given legitimate criticisms to Islam that should be given and now are being attacked for radicalizing people against Muslims. It is absolutely not the case. And it's not the intent of the people we're talking about either. So in closing, you do not show your disgust for white supremacy by showing how much you like the hijab or showing how much you're cool with Islam in general. Because in general, Islam as an ideology is a bad one. Now, we can't say every single Muslim is bad, given that not all Muslims adhere to the Quran the same. There's a spectrum of adherence to Islam, right? The same with all religions. That's why we have to treat people as individuals. Even if you did find out that a Muslim holds beliefs that are anti-American or anti-human rights, that still does not give you the right to do something to that Muslim rather than criticize them with your words. Because words are what we need to use here. Whenever things turn to violence, that means we have lost. That means conversation has lost. And when conversation loses, all that's left is bloodshed. So please, do not solve your problems via bloodshed. Solve your problems via criticism. And that's it. Anything else is a bad idea. So that's why I'm against Islam as an ideology, because it's a bad idea. That's why I'm against white supremacy as an ideology, because it's a bad idea. And both things can be simultaneously true.